Peter.
What is
This is take 2, by the way.
Pretend we didn't just talk for a minute.
Yeah.
Why are people refusing vaccinations all of a sudden? Like, so I get that there's anti-vaxxers,
Yeah.
but it's
Not
like
all of
even the
us.
pro-vaxxers are now wanting to refuse this COVID vaccine.
Well, I just said that I think there's so many like experts now on how long it should take to develop a vaccine when it's like the vaccine's developed, so you're wrong.
Yeah. Well, like the swine flu one was like a year.
Well,
That
look,
took like a year.
I'm not gonna let the government put their nanobots in me, so I won't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything
let's be
it's
I'll probably not get the vaccine.
I mean,
Just-
I don't know.
I'll wait to see how
it-
effective it is,
Is it
and
gonna
then
be
I'll
like
get
a
it.
flu shot where it's like free some places or something?
It
It'll
should be. It'll probably
yeah.
be free.
Covered by insurance.
Or,
It'll
yeah.
be negligible.
Okay, you're talking to 2 broke-ass musicians. Do you think we have insurance?
Well, I know he's on his mom's, so
I think.
For another year, maybe.
maybe.
I'm not.
Yeah. No.
Man, imagine being 30.
Imagine having your own insurance.
Oof.
Are you on your own insurance?
Yep.
Checkmate.
My own health insurance.
Checkmate. No, Charlie. No.
That was
You're
a good high five.
I have no insurance.
Yeah. Anyway.
Car insurance, right?
You just walk in there. Y'all take State Farm.
No, I'm just saying.
I have
Okay.
car insurance. I have homeowners insurance. I have no health
You
insurance.
need to get health insurance.
Granted,
It's expensive as
You gotta
hell.
get on that Medicaid, baby.
Okay, would you not qualify? You probably make too much.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone tells me like just get on Medicaid. I'm like, it's not that freaking easy.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
also, I mean, the amount of times I go to a doctor a year.
I mean, I agree with that. Like, if I didn't
Once a year.
if I didn't have my family, I wouldn't have insurance. Just because through my work, it's stupid. Well, I guess it's not expensive for an individual.
I haven't been to my doctor in like the very first time that we went on the summer tour.
Yeah.
Right before we left, I went, and that was the last time I went to the doctor.
Dude, straight up, I've been a
4 years
doctor in
ago?
probably like 5
Years
years.
ago?
Yeah.
In 2017.
Well, the insurance isn't like it helps with that, but it's like the insurance is there so like a really bad car wreck
Yeah.
doesn't ruin your
Costs
life.
you $100,000.
It's like
Yeah.
it makes it so it ruins your summer, but it doesn't ruin literally the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
I've had so many
financially.
people come into work, and it's like they're obviously like semi well off, pretty well off.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, we probably can't finance because our credit. She's like one lady was like, I had breast cancer and it ruined our credit, and I was like, yeah. That sounds about right. That's so wrong. Like me and Ashton, when we had Ruby, like just the hospital stay, if we didn't have insurance, it was gonna be like $50,000. It ended up costing us like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So, or like you said, it's like it sucks to pay 3 or 4 grand, but it's like
Still
way better than $50,000.
$3,000.
Well, it's a baby, you know.
It's
that's
a
the
baby.
that's the road you're going.
Yeah,
down.
yeah. I was about to say next.
You have 9 months
Next
to plan
topic.
for
Imagine
that.
having a child.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Imagine
Charlie
doing it
lives
once and
with
being
one.
Like, I'll do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie has a child that pays rent.
Yep.
Which is honestly the best kind of kid, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of
A
child.
child that pays rent and brings booze home.
I mean,
Name a better child than that.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
So,
yeah.
I was playing Warzone earlier, and I got to thinking about this.
Okay.
When did the reserve chute and parachutes get invented? I could not find an answer, but like I'm just trying to imagine like some dudes going parachuting before the reserve chute, and they jump out, and they're all flattened down, and all the dudes pull one, but then one dude's keep going. They're like, "Oh man, he's really cooking, dude. He needs to pull that."
Hey yo! Hey yo! Pull the chute! Hey yo! You going too fast! I feel like that's one of those things that they figured out before it went wrong.
You think?
It was
'Cause-
like if
or they
made 2
tested it on like
parachutes.
dogs or pigs or something.
So that parachutes.
just tossed them.
I looked it up. It was invented in like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
World
you
War
think
II
back
had
then they
people
were-
dropping in.
They were thinking about that like
Yeah.
early.
Yes. Yeah. People are like,
Da
if I jump
Vinci-
out of this plane, I want a backup plane.
So Da Vinci had a
Vinci,
flying machine, but he figured out it was really a falling machine.
Yeah.
Because you could it would go off a cliff slowly, but it wouldn't go.
So it was
up.
a hang glider.
Yeah, but just straight down, basically.
Falling with style.
Yeah.
It's like a feather.
So I mean, that's effectively a parachute. It's just not the same thing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
would have
checkmate.
been like a huge wooden thing. I know in the wars it was like a war crime to shoot paratroopers as they were falling. You weren't. Nobody was supposed to shoot paratroopers.
That's so dumb.
I know, it's
Like they are gonna come down and try to kill me, but I have to wait.
I have to wait till they touch the ground because it's just not. It's just not.
It's
fair.
It's bro code.
It's just not fair.
It's bro code.
It's the Army bro code. So yeah,
No, it's Geneva's code.
it's convention.
So.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you can shoot them to death, but you can't use chlorine gas and
You can
blind them.
waterboard them, but you can't shoot them while they're falling.
Well, I get that it's like it's horrible, right? Using chlorine gas and shooting paratroopers, it's horrible. But the whole thing you're doing is shooting
literally
people
trying to kill
death.
each other.
You are killing people.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
literally putting your life out there.
Are there like refs out there that throw like a flag to like
You guys
defenseless
have to
player?
move back.
Well, you just get put to death after
Yeah.
the war's over, like we did to all the Germans that didn't escape to South America.
And that goes over. So my grandfather is more of a Democrat, and he was like, the reason he's voting for Biden is because of Trump calling veterans on. It was either on, and I know he didn't even call them losers, but he said something about.
Did he not see what Biden said to?
No, but just that doesn't matter. I'm
Okay.
just talking about this. And
Okay.
it's like, if he did say that these veterans are losers, the dead ones are losers, is he wrong?
No.
Is
Well, that
he
kinda goes
wrong?
back to what we were talking about.
Was
a couple weeks ago.
McCain getting captured? He lost.
Oh, he was a winner. He got out.
No. He lost first.
Yeah.
So he got rescued by other winners.
It's just kind of like what we were talking about with Columbus. It's like
Yeah.
Everybody-
We were just the most recent winners.
everybody who exists in the place that they do exists there because their team won.
Yeah.
And everybody who got
Other team
displaced,
lost.
they're the losers.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Columbus is now the loser. If you didn't know.
Yeah, he's
And
dead.
more or less,
He's
yeah.
dead.
He's
Yeah,
dead.
He lost.
So everyone that dies is a loser, no matter
mean,
what the cause.
Basically. Anybody
much.
who's not me. is
Jump
a
in front of a
loser.
bullet
Let's
for
just
your
be
child,
honest.
like, what a freaking loser. What a Melvin.
This is really bothering Chad on a deep level. That's the whole conversation.
It's like
That guy just
like-
jumped in a bullet. What a freaking Melvin.
it's not that you're not wrong. It's that it's also not right.
They're going to change the Medal of Honor to the biggest loser.
Wait, the Medal of Honor?
Yeah.
Or the living
Guys,
person?
Usually, yeah.
This has been the whole show. The show's over. The whole season is over. We're
How did we
canceled.
get from here to when was the reserve chute put into the
Because
parachute?
I
Or he
simply
brought it up.
said it was against the Geneva Convention. to shoot
And then we started
paratroopers.
talking
He was talking about his
yeah.
grandpa.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just
Anyway, your grandpa's a loser.
Is he alive?
yes.
Not yet.
He's on his way.
hey, Will, you're gonna be a loser.
You're about to
someday.
lose.
Yeah, facts. Man, that's up for dispute, man. I mean, it could have been years ago that I kind of went into there.
All right, well,
Cool.
It's been the show.
We're cutting it short today, folks. Man,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm like 4 to 6 today.
the parachute conversation. That was my biggest
yeah.
contributing moment here
Not
tonight.
drunk, by the way.
And we just blew through that.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Just
talking
shut
with
it
Will
down quick.
before we started this. What if humans acted like dogs? Just go a different route here.
You're both walking on different sides of the street. Hey,
So I was talking about when we walked in, and we walk in, Brody and Zena are always like on you.
right
And I was
on
like,
us,
wow,
yeah.
every time you had a guest come in, you're like,
You just
just like run at them and
Literally meet you face to face at the door.
jumping on you.
This close.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you sit down on the couch and just jump on you. I was like 2 breaths too long.
You smell really good.
Wait. Let me smell that ass.
You just
That would be like us smelling each other's armpits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
yeah, more or less, or taint.
I got lightheaded breathing really hard.
Yeah, that's what I said,
Dude,
dude.
faded on oxygen deprivation. Not really.
That picture you guys sent to the group of y'all 3,
Yeah.
Like, you look so high, dude. I don't know if you were actually high.
No.
But you look, and so did Chad.
So we went outside.
No.
I had Hayden
His
take the picture.
words exactly were, "This needs to look as bad as possible."
I was like, let's go outside and turn the flash on so this looks I'll put the picture
It
up.
looked pretty bad. Yeah. It was pretty
Chad
bad.
looks like he's a different person.
He looks
He's
like
looking the wrong way.
he looks. If I remember it correctly, look at it.
I didn't even realize you put that in the group.
Whenever we
saw it.
what was it? That AI artificial the clearing, the one that made Chad look Asian. That's how he looked, in my opinion.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm gonna have to pause real quick. He looks like a tool. Chad, you look like Post Malone. You know that?
You know you're not the first person to say this, right?
Yeah, I didn't think so. I feel like we've talked about that. But you definitely look like Post Malone.
I've had people at shows come up to me and say I look like Post Malone.
You should get one face tat. One.
Say psych.
Say psych right now.
Get one
No,
face
dude.
tat.
Who's that comedian? He's got a face tat. He says it's a good idea.
Oh, Shane Smith.
He has like 12 face tats.
Yeah, he's got a lot
all over him.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I was telling my friends about his bit where he was applying for Best Buy card and gets declined, and then they're like, "I'm sorry, this has never happened before."
He's like, I'm pretty sure I've seen a bird fly in by accident and fly out with a Best Buy card.
and the like when he goes into, because he is covered in tattoos.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Okay, and like he's known at his local convenience store as Mountain Dew guy, not face tattoo guy.
Yeah.
Wow, you must buy a lot of Mountain Dew. Wow. Yeah, you should basically get Jigsaw riding the tricycle on your cheek.
You think that's the...
Yeah.
That's the move, huh?
Like 6ix9ine.
That's the one?
Yeah.
What's up with him now?
He's on house arrest.
Is he? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
No.
Unless
I
he
think
just got out.
I think
like a month ago.
because he was on a podcast that was off-site, so he wasn't.
Well,
Stupid.
You can
I guess
leave.
that's work.
Yeah,
so,
you can leave if you're on house arrest.
I won't let you
That's-
get the
For
chance.
some reason.
Yeah.
I'm only scared of two things: numbers, God, and the FBI.
But God
Jokes like that are unnecessarily funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, way too much.
And it's so funny because after he did that podcast, the FBI busted him. Like the next
Oh, that's
week.
hilarious.
Like for racketeering.
Nice. What is
Man.
racketeering?
It's like
Like
it's
fraud?
like they can prove you're in a gang, like an organized crime group. That's
Oh.
basically like what it is.
It's like fraud, right?
And it's like you look at a guy like that, you look at 6ix9ine and hear his songs and stuff like that, and everything he does online. The FBI blew that case wide open, dude. They were like, "We got you. Here it is."
You remember those?
We know.
You remember those snitch memes for a long time?
Yeah.
Those were hilarious.
They literally identified prolific gang members from the 9 Trey Bloods gang just by watching his music videos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could believe
he
that.
was like, "What if I put huge, violent criminals in my music videos?"
That's smart.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like one of the biggest artists right now.
Like, could you imagine like us being in a freaking 6ix9ine music video? Would be so out of place.
Imagine being the FBI dude who had to watch those videos over and over and over again. By like
Just
the
so
6th time,
uncomfortable.
you're going,
Probably the whitest guy at the place too, and he's having to watch this music video of a Hispanic guy saying the N-word like 80 times in 3 minutes.
and he's just like, I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what any of this means. And then an even younger and even whiter guy comes up and he explains all of it because he hangs out on what are those? What's that podcast with? Oh man, I lost it.
Joe Rogan.
Adam 22, is that his
Oh,
name?
yeah,
Yeah, what's
yeah.
his podcast? No Jumper.
No Jumper, yeah.
Yeah, because he watches No Jumper.
Yeah.
That was a sick joke, Will.
Gang bang.
Losing him. You're losing him.
Slang.
Losing him. Dead air.
What?
So, do you guys get spam calls often?
I got called.
Not often.
I got 6 phone calls today.
Yeah.
6 phone calls. 2
Was
of them
it
were
about your car
legitimate.
warranty?
So I had a really fun one the other day. So
We talked about this, right?
No, this literally happened like.
Not this instance, but
Oh.
spam calls.
Well, yeah, but that's why I got to bring it up because I know we've talked about it before.
It's a follow-up segment.
So I got a phone call and I answered it because I knew it was a scam because it says scam likely. I answered it and it's a recording saying your social security number is in jeopardy. Please call us back to see what you can do about it. I'm like, okay, it's on.
Yep.
All right, so I hung up, called him back of course, Middle Eastern guy gets on there. He's like, I said, hey, I just got a phone call saying that my social security number is in jeopardy and like I need to know what to do. He's like, okay, let's just confirm your identity. What's your first and last name and the last four of your social security number?
Not drunk, by the way.
Not drunk. So I gave him fake information.
Yeah.
I said my name was like Mike Edwards and the last four was 2222. He goes like, okay. He's like, well, he goes, I got to put you on hold, but my name is Sasha and my badge number is 0000. Like, okay. All right, cool.
That all checks out.
So he puts me on hold music for like 15 seconds. I think it's the same guy. I'm almost positive it's the same guy. Comes on, he goes, hello? I'm like, hey, I think I was just transferred to you. He goes, who is this? And I told him. I'm like, well, I said, who is this? He goes, this is the Undertaker. I'm like, what? He goes, he's like, no, this is the guy saying it. He's like,
yeah,
this is the Undertaker. I'm like, what? I said, I thought you retired.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I did, but I still got bills, so I'm working for the Social Security Administration. I'm like, oh,
no,
that checks out.
Way.
Yeah. All right. He goes. I'm like, you're for real? I'm like, he's like, yeah. He goes. You know what happens every time I show up to work every morning? He goes, I open the doors, the lights go off, and this song starts playing, and he plays the Undertaker's walk-in song. And just leaves it playing.
There's no... What?
Yes!
That's
100%. I'm like, I'm rolling, dude. I'm like, this is amazing!
This is John Cena.
It was the best scam call I've ever
really
had.
Trying hard.
Yeah.
But they're also really reaching.
They knew you were screwing with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And he just started having fun with it.
That's probably the best thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
It was amazing.
What time are we at?
17.
Okay, I don't want to miss a second of that.
Yes.
Not drunk, by the way.
I have the hiccups.
Gotcha. No,
So
gotcha.
next time you answer a scam call, it could be.
Yeah.
Undertaker.
So I've gotten 2 Social Security scam calls in the last week. One of them was like, call us back. The other one just read a phone number out to call. Mm-hmm. I was like, is this their first day?
Yeah. They're really not trying very much.
No, because they usually spoof an American number so you can't call them back.
Yeah.
Or it's like only live for like 5 minutes. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I could put this number anywhere and shut down your whole thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't. So I was like, I'm just like, they're getting brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me and Ash have had the same phone number for like over a year now. We got new phones a year ago, and we had to get new numbers. So we've had it for a year. It's been November. And like in the last month, she's been getting calls from people like all over kind of the, not Midwest, but like Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma area and here, looking for like the same person. Mm-hmm. And so like, is this lady writing the wrong phone number? Or are these people like not tried to call this lady in a year?
If I had to guess, the person who had that phone number last owed money and died. Because when we moved into the house that my parents live in now, when I was younger, the same thing happened probably for like 6 years.
Nice.
People would call asking about the same person, and it was always like a credit union or something.
Nice. There's a guy at my work. Well, I guess he's quit. His name was and not that one. His mother or grandmother died. Someone in his family died. And she was collecting Social Security, and she died, and they just kept sending checks to him,
a lot,
and he never said anything, and he's still getting it. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, you eventually are gonna owe like all that money,
and maybe go to prison.
Yeah, like you're getting $1,000 a month. It's been 3 years since that's happened.
Yep.
So yeah, you're looking at what are we at? $36,000.
So we're definitely gonna beep that name.
Yeah,
unless he dies, and then what happens?
He's on his way, dude. He's in rough shape.
He's been spending that money. He's going to the casino, baby.
Yeah,
$1,000 a month. That's a lot.
He had a lot of health problems, so could be. Then it's no one's problem, right?
But like, what if he was just like, what if he, like, the beginning of the month got a check, and like 3 days later was like, hey, mom just died. You don't have to send any more checks. And they're like, okay, and then you just like let it go. Like, do you think that would pass?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, what if he called them and was like, "Hey, she just died." Like,
They would.
Oh, they can figure out that
they-
she's
they'd
been
ask for
dead.
There's supposed to
death
be
certificate.
there's
Yeah.
supposed to be a death certificate. They could. It's public record. They could look it up right now and see that she died 3
Yeah.
years ago.
It's crazy that there isn't a system that just automatically does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That also reminds me. So y'all remember? You have to bleep her name out. You remember that? That girl? You don't, obviously. It's a girl I dated very briefly, just for a couple months in high school, and her dad is arguably like the most interesting dude. Like,
I've heard that from more than one person.
yeah. So he had. I wish I could remember the whole story, but I'm gonna give you super bare bones of it. He like got into a bad accident and was like declared dead. Has a death certificate, and like he came back and is fine. Like I can't remember what happened. He was in like a helicopter crash or something.
Whoa.
Nuts. Yeah.
We're at 21, I think.
21.
21.
We're at 31%,
21.
and we're back.
Phantom in the walls?
That that was so funny. Last week I heard it when y'all thought y'all heard a ghost sound. You remember?
It sounded exactly like a
It did.
cartoon
It
ghost.
sounded like it. And I'm still, I don't know, the fact that you heard it behind you, like,
So I figured it out.
he said it was his chair.
I thought it was
No,
my
no.
chair.
No. It was Lauren. She tripped or something on the stairs. I was like, whoa. As she was coming home. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No way that was what the noise she
Yep.
made.
That's hilarious.
I didn't write out ask her, but I put together the timeline because I was asking somebody to pick up chips for game night, and she responded. She said, "I just got back from getting chips." So I'm assuming it was her
you
we
did the
heard.
math.
But
I did the
but
math.
she was home when I got home.
I know she left while we were in podcast.
She had chips out there like that she just got. I thought.
She got more chips.
That happened 4 minutes into the podcast, though.
No, I didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
It did?
Dude, the house is haunted. Just let it be.
Nah.
What
2
you got
in
in
the
your
morning,
notes?
I'm gonna go make some noises outside your room.
You know what's in my bedside table, so
Why do you think I'm trying to make these noises?
What's in your bedside table?
A grenade.
Oh, your gun. I was thinking like something else like that.
well that too, but
Like,
What? Where are you going?
wait,
with this?
yeah, where are you going?
I don't know, dude. Like,
Yeah, he hears the noises. He's like,
Jesse.
no.
he's like, I gotta go. I gotta escape.
No, dude, we're all on totally different pages. I was thinking like a sex toy.
That's exactly what I thought you were.
Okay,
thinking.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
he had a bong.
Because he said meth.
So
Oh, okay.
but yes, those are in the drawer too.
Cook.
Say if someone busted my house, I got it.
You just got to grab the right black thing.
But I was just wondering, like, which thing were you holding, the bong or the sex toy?
A sex toy. That's what I'm saying.
Well, just imagine some dude coming
who's
at you
out
with
there?
a bong. Hey,
I think any of those would be confusing
That's
as hell.
definitely happened.
Yeah, for sure. And so has the other.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Dude, that would hurt
a
to
home
get hit.
invader has definitely had a bong broken over their head. For sure.
And definitely been slapped in the face by a silicone wiener.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
okay, here's my next
I
question.
just, when it gets quiet, I just always look at Chad because I know he's going to go,
How many mailmen have been beaten by some dude who's on meth or something like that, and thought he was like a home invader coming into his house?
That's
Why would a
extremely
mailman?
specific.
Why would a mailman be coming inside the house?
No, he's like delivering the package or something, or they see him coming up the door, and they start running out there after him. That's happened, right?
probably.
Thank you.
Almost
Well,
anything you
everything-
can imagine has
Yeah,
happened.
everything has happened, though, so.
Everything has happened?
Name something that you don't think has happened ever.
Well, apparently the parachute things, they've had the reserves forever. I thought I had an original idea.
No.
You thought you had an original idea that somebody else didn't have their original idea.
I know what I said.
Okay.
I thought I had an original idea for the 1850s.
I think I said 18.
They should have had that figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell's
Listen,
wrong
if
with
I
you?
was in the 1880s, I would have made a reserve parachute.
What
makes
if,
sense.
what if people were just like falling out of the sky left and right, and somebody was
Like,
if only we could just give them a second life, like in a video game, and then somebody was like,
I thought you were going a different way.
Here's
I
a
thought you were
bed sheet.
saying people just jumped out of a plane before any parachute was made, and they were all just hitting the ground like, there's got to be a way to do something better.
We can fix this.
There's got to be a better answer to this. Have you guys seen what happens when someone hits the ground?
They just go bye-bye.
I know, but like what they look like?
No.
It's not that bad.
No.
It's not that bad.
I've seen
It's
the
like
picture of the Russian cosmonaut that burned up in the atmosphere, like coming back.
Well, I haven't even seen that.
He doesn't look like anything.
Well, so if you hit the ground, like after you jumped out of a plane, you actually still look pretty normal, but you just have like bruising everywhere, as you can imagine. And obviously you're dead.
Have you ever thought about how many
Oh,
bodies are on Mount Everest?
There's
We
a
talked
lot.
about that in like our second podcast.
Fuck it.
They
I mean, we can still
like,
talk about
exactly
it.
how
I feel like
many.
a year ago.
Well, I don't know if they know exactly how many. I've heard between 100 and 300.
It's becoming a problem. That and the amount of poop that's on Mount Everest is becoming a problem, from what I heard.
Well, the dead bodies are the markers.
In
Pretty
That's how the
much, yeah.
hikers know how far they are.
Yeah.
Because there's corpses up there.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's kind of crazy, yeah.
And
I heard
they
something.
can't figure out who was the first person to hit the top, because the first person to start climbing died up there, but they don't know if he died on his way up or on his way back down.
They seem to parachute down.
There
Which way is he facing?
Well, there were three. There were three people. They're still looking for another, like on that first expedition in the 1800s or whenever, and they, I guess one of them had a camera, and so they're trying to find. They still haven't found the one with the camera because they'll have film that they can develop.
You know what's-
Doesn't look like anything.
You know what's a scary thought?
There's no way.
You don't think it's been preserved in the cold?
I bet it was too bright. Because I bet whoever had that camera wasn't good enough at taking the pictures, especially back then, to expose it right for the snow. It's all snow.
Well, there's no way it's
I remember
digital.
right, he was a photographer.
That's
so-
brave.
Yeah.
That's brave.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's dead.
Well, he's dead.
That's all that happened.
photography did
He
help him.
wasn't a climber.
The
He was a
balance between
photographer.
Climber and photographer was a little weighted.
Was not there.
So, Mount Everest is too high for a helicopter to get up to, right? Like safely, because there's not as much air,
Probably.
Yeah, I think the air's
right?
too thin.
So
Probably.
you said bring a parachute. Would that work?
I mean, I
Would that
think
still
you'd
work the
start
same
falling
way?
really slow.
a hang glider might work, but you would definitely freeze to death.
Oh yeah.
Like it would take so long that you would freeze to death because they have to stop and take breaks and whatnot.
And you need oxygen
yeah,
to climb.
Yeah.
So you know what's a scary thought? This is kind of related, but not to Mount Everest. Is, it just made me think of it. So they say like after a few years, or I mean, it'll probably be like 100 or 200 years. But unless we figure something out, every time someone goes into space, debris breaks off.
Yeah.
That there's so much debris that after a few years, there'll be so much debris that we can't go up into space because when you're going that fast, even like a little piece of something, if you hit it, it's like catastrophic. So,
big net.
yeah.
Solved it.
There you go. Magnets.
Come on, NASA. Big net.
Magnets.
Big net.
They're trying to find a way to harvest the energy of the sun too. Same video about that I saw.
We have that. It's called solar power. It's on the roof.
But like
it's
the
literally on my
energy
roof
of the
Next.
sun.
Next. Solved it. Next.
Will 1850. He had
You know
it
what
down.
their idea is as at the moment is to send literally like 1 billion mirrors and reflect it all back to Earth.
That's kind of crazy, but it might be crazy enough to work.
Apparently, it's supposed to be like you can build them all like around the sun and connect it all, but it would take obviously forever.
So it's like
Too
one of
hot.
those tanning shields that they
More or
like,
less.
that
Too
girls
hot won't
use
work.
to-
Next.
So it won't work.
Come on, NASA.
Yeah.
We're figuring out right here. Why doesn't NASA just do this?
Yeah, have a podcast.
Come on,
Exactly.
NASA. Anyway, NASA podcast, pretty dope. That would be dope.
That would be cool.
So, did you see?
Or SpaceX.
I feel like it's a
podcast.
bunch of dudes going, yeah, that wasn't a UFO you saw on that picture that one time. Anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
Well,
that, like, every
speaking
7
of that,
minutes.
Monolith.
did you see?
Yes, I did.
The Israeli guy, who was like their military defense general, whatever, overseeing space defense for like 50 years, came out and said that there was a galactic federation that hasn't contacted us because we're not ready yet.
Really?
That was in national news today.
Now, here's the thing. When they do contact us, are they going to be nice?
They just said we. They just said we aren't ready yet.
Well,
And
you would
and
think that
said-
means they're going to be nice, though.
He said the U.S. and Israel have known about it for like 30 or 40 years.
Is he alive still?
He's
I know-
80. Yeah.
I know
he's
it's
80.
just been today. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying he's probably going to get whacked.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get suicidal.
He's gonna
all of
lose.
a sudden he doesn't know how to drive a car.
He's going to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna lose.
Sorry, I thought you were going a completely different direction.
No, the monolith,
A
that was
leaked
kinda
photo
weird.
from the Pentagon's unidentified aerial
Yeah.
phenomenon.
Oh, I did
task
see
I
force.
that
saw
one.
that.
That was crazy too.
Yeah.
That looks bizarre.
Is it the like on in space on Earth kind of sort of? No.
It's the one that
It's
they
a
say
big
came out of the ocean,
silver
I haven't seen it.
thing?
and it's a cell phone picture, which is crazy. The pilot took it on a cell
Potato
phone.
quality.
Yeah.
That's all
probably
we.
zoomed
That's
in.
all we ever get of
Well,
anything. We want solid information
They're
from.
in-
Probably zoomed
They're
in
in
all the way.
F-16s. He's going like 600 miles an hour.
Oh yeah. That came out of the ocean.
That's the one they say is the one that came out of the ocean, because
Oh,
all
yeah.
of those radio things are recorded. You can go listen to that. I'm talking about it.
I'm more interested in the Galactic Federation.
Yeah, that and he
Yeah.
said there's a secret base on Mars underground that has representatives from the U.S. and Israel and all of the alien nations in it.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Which and that
We're
part,
never-
I was like, okay.
I was gonna say we're never gonna be ready for it because
How
when
do I
someone says
apply
that,
for
we
to
just
be
don't
this
believe
U.S.
it.
representative?
Why do I get interrupted? I've been paying extra attention today. Like I'll be mid sentence and someone just starts talking.
It's 'cause,
However,
like,
I
it's
tried to start
red thin,
talking.
It's not that good.
Thanks.
Anyway, something else.
other subject.
I'm sorry, Evan.
No, it's all right.
I was still on my train of thought
My feelings
with
are
that.
hurt, but it's all right.
Well, really, what you did is you interrupted his train of thought.
Yeah, that's exactly. So
You're
Shut
messing
up,
with his
dude.
focus.
you're wrong.
Sorry.
Yeah, like that dude.
Not
Yeah.
drunk, by the way.
But I was gonna say that we can't handle it yet because anytime someone says anything remotely like that, we're just like absolutely not true.
Fake.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to connect this to the other lore about the alien at the Pentagon.
Oh, yeah.
And be like, they just want us to denuclearize first. That I'm going to connect this strand of lore.
Okay.
Because I have the
Then they're gonna
galactic.
come in and get us.
Yeah. I have the Galactic Federation lore up here, and then all the UFO lore is down here. It starts with Bob Lazar, and I'm connecting all the dots to that.
Dude,
Galactic
his
Federation
stuff
makes me
is-
think Star Wars.
That's what he called it.
I know they just come in like and just start killing everyone.
But it's probably in Hebrew, so that's probably like the best translation to English. It was probably it probably
Galactic
means
Federation.
something else in their language.
It's probably like Jedi Knights.
yeah.
That's the missing.
Sith.
Sith Lord.
The fifth.
I mean, with our luck.
All right.
Yeah, that freaked my bean.
Okay, what about the monolith thing? Is that
I was
real?
about to
Is
bring
that
that up.
fake?
I think
Is
that's a
it?
prank.
It's an art installation.
Oh, that's it?
It's
You
moving
can see
all
where
over the place.
screw holes are.
Okay.
If you zoom in far enough.
Yeah, it's moving all over the place. It was in Romania and then it was somewhere else.
Yeah, they picked it up and moved
Yeah.
it.
So it's like a Banksy, like secret, like
Pretty dope though.
pop up.
It's cool,
display.
yeah.
It had obviously. Okay, so what time are we at? This is
Like
kind of long.
12 and a half.
Okay, yeah. So the original monolith, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick. They filmed the scenes with the monolith. You know what I'm talking about? The huge black rectangle that they find on the moon. They filmed those scenes on a soundstage in the UK, I think. And the surface of the monolith was so pristine and shiny that literally anything that touched it would be immediately obvious on camera. Like if you touched it with your bare hands, it would have to be polished.
Yeah.
It like dust, everything. So they kept a sheet over it until it was going to be filmed, and then they took it off and like cleaned it and whatnot. There's like, my dad read a whole book about the making of the movie, and it's like it was a huge ordeal. And just knowing that and knowing how much of a pain that was, I think the monolith out there had just been put out there. I mean, it was like the desert.
Yeah.
And you can see in the photo, like, it's pretty spotless.
Yeah.
It wasn't out there in the rain or anything for sure.
Yeah.
So, it's
Yeah.
not like the aliens zoomed out there and just shot it down. They're like, here's some metal, dummies. Figure that out.
Yeah, for real. What are they?
They're just like, here's some metal. figure it out. Just
Say
flip us off.
this means something.
Well, I always kind of think about
Figure it out.
Bigfoot.
Peace
Figure it
among worlds.
How great is that? I always kind of think about Bigfoot that way. It's like somebody spots him and like he's just like, and then he goes away and he's like, "Yeah, I just screwed with them. You guys watch that shit."
And then he knows no one's gonna believe it. Like, I saw Sasquatch throw up blood.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay.
And he's just like in his little cave going.
One of my favorite.
He's doing the.
Yeah. One of my favorite Reddit comments was, I was working babysitting, and one night I was putting the child to bed, and then Bill Murray came out from under the bed and looked me in the eye and said, "No one will believe you," and left. That's one.
That's amazing.
Because it's like, I don't believe
You don't
it.
believe it, yeah.
So it could be true.
How funny would that be if, like, Sasquatch was just, like, some gnarly dude that was just, like, all the time just hanging out in the woods, and then you'd see
Surfing.
people and just default dance on them and just walk away.
If
That
you go to
was
the
a
right
Scooby Doo
beach-
movie.
Was surfing Sasquatch?
It was the like
That sounds
Hawaiian
like it, yeah.
one.
I knew I was pulling from some deep Cartoon Network memory for a second there.
Sasquatch just runs up to a group of cameras, just shoves one down, just walks away, just runs away. Like,
that video of
Sasquatch,
the
push me
gorilla?
down. What video?
There's this video of these people like hiking through the rainforest, and they come across just like a rogue silverback gorilla, which could kill 18 people by itself.
Yeah.
So they're just like not messing with it. They're all just standing still. It's walking by, and there's one African guy. He's kind of like crouched in the leaves. He's got like camo on, and the gorilla walks past him, just grabs his ankle and starts dragging him along with him, and then gets like 10 feet away and just lets him go and keeps going.
Have you seen...
Just completely screwing
Just
with them.
trying to mess
Just
with
like, yeah.
Gorillas are scary, but like funny all at the same time.
So funny.
There was a
Yeah.
video, and you've probably seen it. It's pretty popular. I think it was at a zoo. Some gorilla starts running at like where the tourists or whatever is standing with either dirt or poop, and he runs at him, like with the poop behind him, and he throws it at him and just runs the other way.
Yeah.
He's like, God.
Have you guys seen a hairless gorilla?
Have you seen a hairless chimp?
Only on Joe Rogan, yeah.
I'll say, are you talking about chimp or gorilla?
I think that's a chimpanzee. Look at that.
Oh, that's a chimp. Yeah, that is the.
Yeah,
chimp.
those are the ones that are like muscular and like.
Yeah.
You want to get really freaked out, look up hairless bear. Those are really
Yeah, those
freaky
look
looking.
weird.
They
You don't realize how much
Look at
girth
that.
the freaking
Look
fur
at that.
adds to them.
It's half of it.
Yeah. They look like dogs.
Look up hairless bear.
Oh, I have seen those.
Yeah,
They
it's-
look-
yeah, they look exactly like big dogs.
Yeah.
How about a wet koala?
No, I can imagine. They're so ugly.
Oh,
Koalas are the worst animal.
And they make the worst noise, don't they? I feel like I've heard a koala noise. It's super
Oof.
annoying.
Yeah, they just look like a weird dog thing.
Everyone says, like, I always heard that dogs were, like, or bears were, like, the dog family or whatever, but then, like, someone said, I looked it up and it says it's not true, but they look just like dogs. Or they have dog noses.
Yep. Oh, this is
Okay,
exciting.
we better cut these because of the batteries.
Listen, dude, calm down.
Do I need to go get a battery?
Right,
Put in half.
All right, this is rolling.
You guys know how prone to breaking things I am?
This one is
women's
recorded as well,
hearts.
No, other
No.
way. Other way.
No, he's trashed women's hearts.
That is not even remotely true.
Name one woman. Name a woman.
Any woman.
And
Sarah Palin.
That video is so funny to me because
Is that on me? That looks like it's just on you.
no, it's on you.
All right, hold
I
on. Wait.
scooted this way just now.
Let me. I'll check. I'll check to make you feel better.
I was moving
I'll
back
check
here.
to stroke your ego.
He's checking really because
It's on you.
he was
Okay.
confident,
You have like a ton
but
of
then he
room.
wasn't so sure.
Okay.
It's like a fisheye lens, so it's way wider than it looks.
It's like a fissure.
All right. And
No,
we're
no,
on,
we
go.
were still going.
That video is so funny to me because Hillary Clinton was running for president. And he was like, name a woman. And all those people were like, I don't know a single one.
Talking about that guy that just goes to people like really intense.
Adam on
Billy
the
on the
street.
street.
Billy
yeah,
on the street.
Yeah,
That's
he's like,
right.
name
Yeah,
3 white people, and they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
I think
please,
we guys, I think
name
we
a
guys-
woman,
Name-
someone.
Name 10 things that aren't Jackie Chan.
Cheese,
Pizza,
string, lights,
toothpaste,
Jackie Chan.
guitars.
Oh,
Jackie Chan. Ah!
Yeah, so koalas are the worst animal. There's,
what I've heard.
There's got to be
famous-
worse.
There's a famous 4chan post about it, but basically, like, they ate eucalyptus, like, forever ago. What are you looking at?
wet koalas.
Oh, yeah, they
Ew.
look horrifying.
God.
Yeah. So, like, they ate eucalyptus, and then eucalyptus evolved to be toxic to koalas. And so koalas evolved to barely tolerate eucalyptus. So now
But that's the only thing they can eat, right?
it's the only thing... No. Listen, I'll get there. So it's... Every time they poop, it's like toxic, fiery lava diarrhea for their whole life because they can only barely tolerate eucalyptus.
Do they have to eat eucalyptus?
They will only eat eucalyptus because they don't know how to eat anything else. They're too stupid to figure out how to eat anything else. And get this, if you take eucalyptus off the branch and put it in a bowl for them,
They won't know what it is.
they don't know what it is anymore. They won't eat it. The only thing they can eat, they don't recognize it unless it's on the branch.
That's so weird.
And eucalyptus, like one of those leaves has like 0.8 calories. And that's why they sleep all day, because they have literally no energy.
So here's a question. So you said that eucalyptus evolved to be toxic to them,
Yeah.
but not fatally toxic,
No,
because they would have
koalas-
had to have died off.
So over, thousands of years,
It's just become toxic
allegedly,
to 'em. Evolution.
atheists. Well, it's like just think about like hot peppers, because like hot peppers, the plant didn't want to get eaten by mammals, so they evolved to be hot.
Yeah.
But not.
Now we wreck them.
Not in a way that hurt birds. So birds can eat the seeds of hot peppers and poop them out, and then
Be fine.
transplant hot peppers.
But it wrecks our buttholes.
Yeah, it does. Facts.
Not me. I'm immune. It's weird
Then why don't we eat those?
because I'm afraid of how that
Chocolates.
tastes.
Come on, dude. Quit being a wuss.
Anyway.
It's literally. Are you crapping your pants over here, dude?
No, I'm just sliding in the chair.
Okay.
I did earlier, and nobody
I
said
know.
anything.
I heard it, and I was like,
I braced myself. I was like, and nobody said anything.
Yeah, I heard
I'll
it.
never do that again. Won't ever do that again.
never get a laugh out of it.
Never again.
I thought we were on the page where we could just fart and crap our pants, and that would be funny. But I guess we're not.
That's never been funny for me.
We should get a fart mic.
Just sit on
like-
some lapels.
Put like
Yeah.
10,000% reverb
That's what
on
I'm
it.
saying. That's what.
an echo. Put like
Yeah.
a billion percent
Reverb
echo.
echo 40 decibel gain, so it peaks every time.
It's like the Yoda thing where it's like echo and ear rape. It's like like so loud. Have you seen it?
The Yoda death sound?
Yes.
Yeah. Lego Yoda death sound. I saw an article about how Lego Yoda had become like a Nazi code word.
Nice.
Because people were using that as their profile picture and posting racist stuff. And Polygon was like, everybody, Yoda's a Nazi. Anyway.
Yeah. You remember when Paw Patrol almost got canceled?
Yeah.
Oh, because it has a police dog?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a police dog squad. Whatever you want to call it. Force.
They should just make it at least more realistic. They show up at the scene, a dude's shot on the ground, they just start beating him. Like,
There's like I'm the kind of person like so I've said this a couple months ago on our podcast, like if we ever made it big, whether it's from this or something else, and people found this podcast, we'd be a little screwed.
Oh yeah.
But it's like I would like to be the kind of person that I would just stand by what I say. Like I'm that kind of person anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be like,
Same.
like
I don't regret
don't be
anything
so
I said on this
soft.
podcast.
Yeah. Like everyone's like what was his name? Shane Dawson did like blackface like 12 years ago, 15 years ago, and
It's
like he
not
got
cool.
canceled or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what? I did it. Whatever. Sorry.
Yeah. You can
So-
only get canceled if you stop doing stuff. Like all those people,
What do you mean?
they stopped making content.
Oh, yeah.
They stopped doing shows.
Yeah. Shane hadn't put out a video for like a year. or
Because they
something.
get canceled. You can only cancel yourself.
Yeah. I'd be like, blackface was funny 15 years ago. Sue me. Sorry.
Cool, so I'm cutting that out.
So
Well, I'm not saying it was
I'm
funny,
gonna
but I'm
play
just
that.
now
Loop 18
this
times.
was that's probably like 7 or 8 years ago, and it was we were a smaller band. We were playing a
did
show with another
no.
band. No, it was Halloween. We were playing with Fight the Fade, and so we decided to dress up as Fight the Fade, like as all of the members, like each of us. One of their guitarists is black.
Oh no.
I was pushing so hard for our guitarist to do blackface.
Oh, okay.
And they all outvoted me because they thought it'd be wrong. But the black guy was looking for the blackface. Like, he was expecting it.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it.
His thing.
Tricky.
I know. It was like, come on.
You just gotta have the right audience for certain humor, like, and then you're fine. Like,
Yeah.
some people get offended, but like us, like we like dark humor, so I can say whatever
He's
I want
also
around
the
y'all.
same black guy that told me I could call him the N-word, but
Yeah, maybe don't do
not
that.
hard R and only in a whisper when we're in a group with just them.
Nigga.
Like he gave me. I'm never gonna.
That's it. Cut.
Dude, have I told y'all about? Have I told y'all about when I did? No, sorry.
Well, so this time of year, I've talked about working at Office Depot previously many times. This time of year reminds me of the strangest time of year working at Office Depot, which was the holiday season. Anyway,
All right.
about a week after Black Friday, I worked Black Friday at Office Depot. Nothing weird happened. Pretty disappointing.
Y'all have like Black Friday things?
Yep, lots.
Yep.
Okay. I guess yeah.
You
I
say
guess-
y'all like I still work there, but
I bought my first laptop at an Office Depot on a Black Friday
Yep.
sale.
crazy computer deals.
Dude,
I got up at
is
2
there a
o'clock in
line?
the morning to do it.
There
I
wasn't
was
when
in
worked
line
there.
at an Office Depot at 2 o'clock in the morning for a computer.
Kind.
There wasn't when I worked there,
A
but
Toshiba.
Nice.
nice, sick brand, dude.
Yeah.
So like a couple weeks after that, it was like pretty cold outside, and like, you know, it's like flu season, people getting sick. Anyway, this regular comes in, and I'm working at this L-shaped counter. I have a register over there. I have a couple computers over there, like one over here, one over here. And this lady comes in that I recognize, and she gets a cart, and she's like walking around like this with the cart. And I'm like, are her eyes closed? And so she like comes up to the desk where I'm working with somebody, and she has like a bunch of options for holiday Christmas cards laid out, like a bunch of options all across the table. And that lady comes up and starts like, gets next to this stranger lady who's clearly working with me on something, and starts picking up the samples that we're like working on and like looking at them and moving them around and stuff. And I'm like, can I help you with something? And she's like, I'm just shopping. And I was like, you could not be in farther from the store area. Like the second you walk in, it's the store, and she avoided that and came to the not store basically to shop.
Store.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'm working with her right now, but if you need something, I can help you in a minute. And she goes, oh, okay. And then she puts her hands back in her cart, and she looks up in the air and closes her eyes and turns around and starts walking with her eyes closed, looking up in the air. And careens. Is that Brody?
Sounds like
Is he
him.
choking?
Nah, he was just growling.
Oh.
They're playing, I think.
She careens into the spinning display of cards, and like it goes poof, and she goes and just starts going up the aisle with her eyes closed and like mouth open. And I was like, so I called my manager. I was like, there's a woman in here who's like high, and she drove here. And I was like,
She's driving like this.
I was like, can we do anything about that? He was like, nope.
That's a negative.
So she shopped, and I can't remember what she got, but it was like not things a normal person gets.
Candy from the front.
It was like just a ton of random crap. And like checked out and paid. I didn't see how that went, but she left and got in a car and drove away. That was like, and I knew like she was high on allergy meds for sure. Like she accidentally took too much like PM allergy meds or something. But I think she probably got home and didn't know where she had been.
She
She's
woke
like,
up
"Where'd I
with
get all this
50
crap?"
reams of paper. She's like, what is this?
Who did this?
So, one time, I get off work at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Jimmy and I are leaving. It's kind of late. We're out where our cars are parked, hanging out for a second, and this car pulls up really slow. So the way where we park our cars is like, here's the whole place, and then you can drive on the left side. There's like a lane that goes to the back, and we park right here, and it goes around.
Yep.
Okay. So we're sitting here, the lane, the restaurant. She rolls up, like as slow as you possibly can, like She's using the idle of her vehicle to move and then hitting the brake a little bit. It's just absolutely as slow as possible. It's like 10:30.
Like slower than walking speed.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's behind the restaurant?
Beside the restaurant, heading to the back. So she goes back, and Jimmy are like, that was really weird. And then she stops, does the most god-awful, I guess, version of a U-turn of some sort. She straight up.
Like in Austin Powers.
Yeah, it's just like
in the hallway.
forward. Turns around, stops. She rolls down her window and she looks at us, and then she says some stuff, and both of us like, yeah, like I don't know what you're saying. And then she eventually, and this is the part that really freaked me out. She starts pointing at my car. She goes, person. I was like, shit, is there a person in my car right now? Like, what? She's like pointing at my car, and then I was like, yeah. I was like, there's nobody in there. She goes, pray. I was like, oh my god,
dear God, please.
I was like, this is the moment I'm gonna be driving home and just
say, will you pray with me, please?
Well,
it's like stay as long as you want.
Yeah. And she goes, pray, and then Jimmy was just like, I want you to leave me. He's like, yes, pray. And then she eventually,
Jimmy did that?
Yeah, he was like, yes, pray. And then she drives off, gets to the road, makes a left, drives still very slowly, makes a right onto Elm Springs, starts going over the bridge. It's 40 miles an hour on that bridge. Dead ass. There was no way she was going over 20.
Is she idling? Oh, okay.
She's 20 miles an hour.
Just high. She gotta be high.
She parks her car, gets out, and she's like, pray.
Like she gets out and just in the distance, like,
pray.
That's what you hear like a mile away.
Jimmy, that cracks me up more than anything in the story. Is that Jimmy's like, yeah, pray, yeah.
He's like, yeah,
I can't see him doing that. That's hilarious.
So yeah, we got in our cars and we were leaving. I was like, all right.
Can you tell the joke you made to Chef that he didn't laugh at?
I think I've told it before, but
I don't think on this podcast.
So we were doing a wine dinner.
Have you ever met Chef? Seen Chef? Mm-mm. He's funny. I mean, he can be. He's very, very like no nonsense kind of person.
Well, it's like sometimes he's one or the other.
Yeah.
He's either all joking.
He's told this, I think,
and all like funny. Or all serious. And so we're doing a wine dinner. So this is a sicko mode Chef, where he like the smallest thing will set him off. Like, because I mean it's a wine dinner, everything needs to be perfect. So these people are paying a lot of money. Like $200 a person or something to do this. So it needs to be, good. So we're finally here. We're at the main course. We're plating everything, and he has, I forget what it was now. I want to say it was a piece of chicken with the bone in, like some sort of schnitzel or something.
Probably like a rib or something. Well, I don't know. Just go on.
And he's setting it on a plate in a couple different ways, trying to figure out the best way he thinks it looks good because he wants it to be presented well. And then he goes, all right, this is how we're doing it, everybody. All right, like this, bone up. So the bone curved up. And he just goes, bone up. That's how we're doing it. All right, bone up. And I go, yeah, bone up, petite. Not a laugh.
Stone cold. They look at you?
Yeah, just dead face. He's like... That was such a good joke.
He was just... he went home that night, and he was like, bone up, petite.
Yeah. He's like taking off his chef's robe. He's like, bone up, petite.
He was like, that was actually pretty funny.
I thought it was great, dude. I started laughing.
Chef is funny, dude. Like, he can be. Because he's so serious, when he's, like, a little funny, it's funnier.
I definitely get like that. When you're in, like, work mode, and you're like, my personality is turned off until this is over. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm like you, though. Like, whenever something serious is going on, I'm always, like, trying to make it light, kind of, sort of. Yeah. Like, that's how I am.
I just want it to be over.
Like, we'll be in the middle of, like, Black Friday crazy sale at something, and I'll just, like... try to have some fun, and then there are some people that are just like don't want anything to do with it. I'm like, come on, live a little.
Well, I feel like Mr. Ford was a lot like that, in a sense where he's just like,
we give that man too much attention on this podcast.
Probably, who cares?
Yeah,
he plays Fortnite.
When you're in, I've said this, I think, maybe, I don't know. When you're in high school and you're like in band at Harbor, it's like you would die for it. Or not necessarily, but it's like I was gonna say, not necessarily, but it's like you're like
it's like
for band. You're for band.
Yeah.
But then you graduate and you're like, man, that was like child labor, like abuse.
It was
like
way too hard for what it was.
And it also is definitely not a sport. Like he would always say that it was just as hard as like football or running cross country.
No.
And then one time, like, we would go out to the practice field when they got the Harbor's practice field before stadium was built. But we'd go out there and practice like. before a game, some of the guys would stay back and we would actually play football out there. Dude, it'll be like heaving, like just out of breath. And like, this is nothing like marching band.
No. I mean, I always felt bad for you guys because like your stuff was so heavy, but I mean, you got
still
used to
wasn't
it
as
after
hard
all those
as
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, still wasn't near as hard.
I got somebody in so much trouble in marching band, like more trouble than I've seen anybody get in high school. I'm not gonna say who it was. You know who it was though. They played cymbals. They were in the pit. They had 2 cymbals, and we were at Springdale High School in the lawn area before the game, and he took them and he flung them down into the grass so that they stuck. But I mean, crash cymbals.
Wait, they like these cymbals, or like he played it in the pit?
The big ones, like.
Okay.
Yeah, he took them and threw them into the ground. And
it's pretty fun.
I told Bryant, and like me and Bryant went over to Mr. Ford and we're like, hey, just like literally threw his cymbals so they stuck in the ground. And Mr. Ford literally didn't acknowledge us at all. Like the words came out of our mouth and it was like they went through his ear and they are what moved his head to action. And he was like, and I never saw anybody get chewed out harder than that in my whole life. I felt kind of bad because it wasn't that big of a deal. But it was like the casualness that he threw them into the ground. It was like he does that every week, you know?
He was like,
yeah.
Nothing like throwing like $350 a piece cymbals just down, like
into the dirt.
And Mr. Ford just he's like, oh, and just goes and just destroys him.
You took the headset off too, which I like.
Oh.
I interrupted you. You were gonna say something.
Well, did I tell you all the time I took the rep for one of the other drumline guys?
What's that? 20 and a half.
Yeah, that's kind of.
We better stop and start. Dang, I'm gonna have to do 4. I had a big burrito right before I came here. It's not sitting well.
Nice. Like the rap for you've told this.
Where one of the other tenor dudes was off. Yeah. And I guess Mr. Ford just saw me minding my own business, and that just seemed like the really nice person to like latch onto. And so he just started yelling at me, and I just sit there. I was like, I just took it, and then I looked at him, and like he knew it was him, and then I saw Mr. Morris, and Mr. Morris knew, and none of us said anything, but we were like, we all knew what happened.
Yeah.
And I just did that for you.
Yeah.
Took the heat.
Yeah. There was one week when we were playing Carmina Burana where at the rehearsal on Friday, I just like wasn't paying attention during the last song. Carmina Burana is a song that's like bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway. And so we were playing that part, and I was literally 50-yard line, first one in line. So I'm basically on the sideline, trumpet. And so I just wasn't paying attention. Like we had stopped and started so many times that it's like I have to pay attention to marching and playing the right notes. And I was like, dynamics went out the window. So I was just blasting. And it was the first run through of that section of the song. So we were supposed to be quiet. I was blasting. And I'm on the 50-yard line in the very front. So he chews me out. And he is like, this is quiet dynamics. I just said that. You know, you got blah, 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 blah. And I was like, my bad. Like, genuinely my fault. One of the few times it was actually my fault. And so that night we went to contest. We did fine in contest. And then we watched the footage at school on the next Monday. And I can't remember what happened. I had like a crappy weekend. I can't remember. I remember that added to it for some reason. But we're watching the footage, and somebody was blasting in that section, and it wasn't me, but it was somebody better than me, because like they sounded good, but it was too loud. And so I was like, that's either Riley or Bryant. I knew that, and I knew if I knew that, every other trumpet knew that. And he's like, and we're watching it, and Mr. Ford pauses, and he's like, and a trumpet is blasting, and we all know who that is. Because I was the one who got in trouble on the Friday, and I was like, no, we don't all know who that is, because it wasn't me, but it's like...
yeah, you mean Riley or Bryant, right?
Yeah, in a room of 300 people, you don't get the chance to say that.
Yeah.
So everybody was just like, well...
Have you guys ever, like, you said the word dynamics, and it reminded me of this, which really irked me one time. It's not in band, but it was at church in worship practice. So Chad can attest to this. The church before the one I'm at right now.
Yeah.
The worship team, like the music and all that, and especially the singers, weren't like really educated in music. They were just kind of like those old Southern kind of churches. And we had a pretty good music team. Like the singers, they were okay, but you know, and like one time there was this one guy, and I guess I can say his name. He's like 80 now or 60, I don't know. And his name was Lawrence. And he used to be in like a barbershop quartet. And he was pretty good, but he had an old, outdated voice. But yeah. But he was like, after being there for 4 years, one day he just decided to say to the band, the music players, like, we need to use our dynamics.
And nobody knew what that meant.
And no, here's the thing. Like, they kind of started to, like, everyone kind of knew what it meant. And then, like, some singers like, what do you mean? So I explained it. But then from there on out, anytime they wanted us to be quiet, they just said, use your dynamics. That's all they said every time. And every time they would say it, I would be like, shut your freaking mouth. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Means. It's like name one. Name a dynamic.
Name one.
Because there's names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to be using our dynamics. Like, she would say that. I'd be like, you need to shut your mouth before I come out of this drum cage.
Like, you're like glass here because I'd be throwing stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, you're right. I should be louder here.
Yeah. So you want me to be louder? She's like, no. I said use your dynamics.
At my work, there's a word just like that gets thrown around all the time that I hate because it doesn't mean anything, but everybody says it. So I work at a church. If this is your first podcast, people use the word intentional all the time. It makes me violently angry because people are like, I think we need a few more intentional shots in this section. And I'm like, hey, nothing I do is accidental, by the way. Yeah. It makes me like want to fly across the table and punch their eyes out. Yeah. And the thing that really irks me the most is like, there are people I work with who get paid to build relationships in the community. And I think that's a very valuable job and it's worth getting paid for. I'm prefacing this because I'm about to tear it to the ground. When they say that, you know, I have a meeting with somebody and I'm like, okay, yeah, so, you know, what have you been up to over here? And they're like, you know, we've just been going out and like having really intentional conversations with students. I'm like, just say you've been hanging out with students.
Yeah.
Because the thing that makes it intentional is that you're thinking about it being work. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually hung out with someone today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, I understand.
I got paid to hang out with some kids
Yes,
today.
exactly.
Yeah.
I understand what they mean is I went with a purpose and I was always trying to drive these children to, you know, like bear fruit, to use church words.
Yeah.
But what you did was hang out with
students. You played Fortnite
today.
with them.
And that's great, and it's a very useful job, especially in a church, but the word intentional makes me want to scrum it.
Yeah.
I don't like the word
scream vomit.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't like the word viral very much. I feel like it's used
You're so
too much. Like,
in the sense of like a video
or whatever,
virus.
or an example, a tweet. So the first time I met this girl that I worked with at the thrift store, we met and she was like kind of joking about it, which is, and I get that, but at the same time it was kind of like, so she was like, yeah, she's like, maybe you saw my tweet the other day, it went viral. It's like, you got 60,000 likes on it. I don't think that counts.
No, it doesn't count.
60,000?
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
When I hear the word viral, I'm thinking millions of people saw this thing.
I'm pretty sure the original usage of the word viral meant it got 1 million hits. But it's like completely obsolete now because literally every Minecraft Fortnite channel gets 1 million views on every video a day.
Yeah.
So it's like, I hate when a headline is like, this tweet about Trump just went viral, has like 40,000 likes.
Can we talk about that one person that tweeted about coronavirus and Jews?
Which, by the way,
I saved the tweet so I can put it up here.
By the way,
I'll block the names, but yeah.
By the way, the person who I was tweeting it to just put question marks, like they didn't understand. Like, I literally did what the tweet said to do. Like,
yeah, but she was shaming the tweet. You get that, right?
Yeah.
She was saying Jews were murdered. Anti-maskers, this is uncomfortable.
I get what she was saying, but then I just did literally what the tweet said to do,
and she didn't get it.
Yeah.
Well, I think she was being like, "You're so stupid to think that I would think that was funny." That's probably
she's like
what
that.
she
She's
thought.
really pretentious. Yeah.
It is.
Well, and I can't. She's married.
Almost.
Almost, I think.
She's not the one that got married.
Yeah, she's about to in like a day or two or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, really soon.
Hey, imagine trying to change people's minds on the internet, especially on Twitter.
Has anyone ever tweeted something like that and like actually like someone's like, oh my god,
It's like, yeah.
this is just like the Holocaust.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like I've never tried to post anything to change anybody's mind.
No.
Most of the time, my social media is just like stupid shit and like.
Yeah.
Okay, I posted a video or a picture of a MAGA hat, "Make America Great Again."
Yes.
And the tag said "Made in China."
Yeah.
That's all I posted,
people
right?
see.
And this was a friend's hat. Like, this was, like, I didn't find these pictures on the internet.
Right.
This is a physical hat I had in my hand, and I posted these pictures, and I thought it was hilarious and ironic. Mm-hmm. It turned into a huge political storm, and people thought I was a Trump supporter. Like, I had people block me, like, from the music scene, because I posted a picture of a hat.
Relentless. People are ruthless.
The
They have
people
no
that
roots.
do that just don't. They're not confident enough in what they already think.
Yeah.
And that's why that upsets them.
Imagine blocking someone because they support another person. Like,
Yeah.
that has like
Unless it
no
was
effect on
literally
you. It's like
Hitler.
Hitler.
Like a child rapist.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were sending money to a child rapist, I probably wouldn't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Probably not.
But like anything less bad than that,
I
could
still
probably
probably
get
wouldn't
past.
block you though.
Yeah, probably. Well, it's kind of I have to keep an eye on this.
Well, it's kind of for the same reason, like I'm sure there's plenty of people who've like blocked Trump because I don't want to see his tweets. I don't follow Trump, but at the same time, occasionally I look through his tweets and go, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what's so
it keeps
sad,
me
dude?
entertained.
Here's what's so pathetic. Like, I used to go through, and they got banned from Twitter. There was these two brothers, like kind of political brothers, not super big, but not
Mario
super
brothers.
small. They're like the Krasenstein brothers or something stupid like that. That was their last name.
Berenstain.
Anyway, point
The
is,
Weinstein brothers?
pretty much
Berenstein Bears?
on.
No, those are literally two brothers.
No, the wine like Harvey.
No.
Oh no.
No. There's two like political commentators. They were both professors.
Oh no.
Okay,
These are two young dudes. But point is,
Oh, no, not
there was on Trump's tweets. Now this was back in like 2017. Like I would click on I clicked on a tweet of his, something to see what I always like to see what the people beneath say. Mm-hmm. And there was this one guy. He was that guy, talking like some nonsense, anti-Trump stuff. And then I scrolled through some more Donald Trump's tweets, and I looked, and then that guy was up there also. And I was like,
Every tweet.
I was
he
like, weird.
responded to.
Yeah, so then I start going through all his tweets. This dude responds to every Donald Trump tweet. I'm like, you have no life. Because
Yeah.
Donald Trump tweets several times a day. That means you've probably got Donald Trump's notifications on when he tweets, just so you can go in there.
A hate tweet.
Yeah. That's so sad. And they actually got like blocked or whatever from Twitter, which is pretty funny.
I always thought it like the conservatives that would say like Trump derangement syndrome, like TDS.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever heard that. It's big on Reddit.
I have, yeah.
But I always thought that was so cringy. And then I just saw more people like that. And it really is like he infects their brains.
Yeah,
And
they can't sleep at night
They
without
can't
like...
think about anything else. And like the people, I read Facebook posts the other day of people saying that they couldn't sleep on election night. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Trump tweets out, Happy 4th of July, like, check this.
I slept just as terribly as I normally do on election night.
I mean, I didn't sleep, but that's normal.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the nicotine.
Not a thing.
Well, boys,
Yeah, all right,
Yeah,
we better
it's
wrap
about 8
this.
o'clock.
Cool.
It's about
That in the morning.
Yeah.
in the afternoon, because this is an afternoon podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been real. Subscribe.
Like,
Turn on those bells.
subscribe, burn a DVD.
Notify. Peace!